asking me.
Did you guys see that news about the Atari?
I did.
Try to come back to life from the
Atari?
dead, man.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Yes, there's
so
a new
it's like Atari. They got a new game
I keep
system.
wanting to say VCR.
VCR, yeah,
It's
right.
VCR.
It dang near looks like
I
it
know.
one, but yeah, it's the Atari VCS, right?
Wow.
And it's supposed to rival the PS5, right?
Yeah, it's 4K. Wow.
I mean, like, yeah, it's supposed to pretty much shit all over the PS5 when it comes out. Like,
Yeah, and they're
you,
proud of
you
it
shouldn't
'cause
even buy a PS5.
They're launching it the same day.
Yeah. Okay, so did you guys see the advertisement that they put out, the
trailer?
announcement trailer or whatever?
Yeah, I did.
So,
I didn't. So.
Okay, so consistently throughout the trailer, they repeatedly mentioned the PS5.
Really?
Yeah, coming out at the same time as the PS5, coming along with the PS5, blah blah blah, like PS5, PS5, PS5. They kept mentioning the PS5. I don't know what fascination they have with the PS5, but they totally acted as if the Xbox Series X, S, you know what I mean, did not exist.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that was because it's literally coming out on the 19th
The same day
of November. Yeah, the same day that the
as the worldwide launch
PlayStation
of the
5
PlayStation.
comes
Yeah.
out, or if it's that they just like Xbox
That's what I think.
Series X ain't effing with us. We on another level. You know what I mean? Like when you look at it,
That's what they're
right? So
That's good.
you know,
jokes,
I'm
man.
gonna
That's
put you
good
into like,
jokes.
you know, my
That's good
train of
jokes.
thought when I'm watching this, right? I'm looking at them talk about this system, and I'm like, oh, okay, a little wood grain on the front, you know, spadazzle it up a bit. They got all of these little bladed sections. They're showing like highlights on top of the system that look like there's LEDs on the top of this
Yeah.
console playing the
Projecting
game.
the
So it's
game,
like,
that's the
ooh,
fact.
you could
Yeah.
watch it on the console as well as on the TV. Like,
See,
they're
I
giving
wasn't
you double
thinking like you
vision.
were watching it. I thought it was just like making it look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like the LED
like
would
you
just
know,
run
kind
in
of
the
like some of the
game just
game
for
is playing
looks.
on the console as well. You know, on the
Yeah.
top of it or something. You know, it just looked real like spectacular. You know,
With that little
yeah. But then come to find out, like, ain't shit on the top of that system. Like, that's just something projected on top of there. Then
Special effects.
yeah, and then you know, I'm kind of looking at it, and they're talking about how like it's high tech with these blade cutouts, you know, where it looks like it got ran through like a carrot cutter, and then you know,
Supposedly
and
those are
it's,
all the
like, put together,
components brought together, right?
pieced up. I don't know.
I don't
It's
know,
really
yeah.
ventilated though. You know what I mean? A lot of air is flowing through there. I don't know if it's gonna be a dust trap or whatnot, but you know, maybe performance is top notch. You know what I mean? They mentioned 4K graphics, right? Didn't you see something
Yep.
with 4K on there?
60 FPS.
Yeah, hardcore 60. So I'm thinking, okay, this is
Yeah,
gonna
for
be like.
1972 games.
So I was thinking that okay, they're gonna like create like all new games and stuff like that. But like,
Nope.
nah, man, they're putting all of the old shit onto the system
Mm-hmm.
for you to play it on there. So it's just like another retro drive. I could have sworn Atari already came out with a retro joint that had like
Probably
all
quite
of
a
the
bit,
games
yeah.
on there.
Probably.
And then I was watching this other YouTuber, and he was breaking down some of the specs and whatnot. I don't know if you
Mhm.
guys checked
Yep.
out the specs.
That's the main thing I
Some
checked out.
graphics card, you know, you probably know better than me.
It's
I
an
can't remember what
APU,
it
not a
was.
GPU.
Yeah,
right? So-
and like come to find out, this shit can't even put out 4K graphics.
Mm-mm.
Like, it's not possible for it to put out 4K.
No, that's why I
graphics. Like,
said like on 1972 games like Asteroid, maybe you can get
Yeah.
4K, but not on
Well,
any real game.
I think if anything, right, it would just up the signal to make it show on like a 4K television, but you're not actually getting 4K graphics on there. But I mean,
Well, graphics and resolution are different. You mean 4K resolution, right?
yeah, 4K
okay, yeah.
resolution, yeah. So I mean, like, how did you guys feel about this wonderful architecture that is coming out that will slaughter all competition in its field?
So personally, to me, it reminded me of like when I was a kid and you go to the mall and, you know, you knew what Super Mario was and all these great games on the Super Nintendo. And then you go to this kiosk and for $20, you go buy this game system that plays over 200 games.
Yes.
And you're not Super Mario. You're like some other weird character, but it's in the Super Mario world. It also reminded me when I would go to the store, like some 99-cent stores, and I'll be like, oh, they got Pokemon toys, and then like Charmander would be yellow, Squirtle would be green, Bulbasaur would be blue. Like, it just
Colors
seems
is off, man.
Swap meet.
it was like those fake, those
Yeah.
fake Pokemon
That's right,
toys.
yeah.
So to me, on the gaming level, they're riding on the wave of these next gen
Mhm.
consoles. They're hoping suckers. Oh, they're hoping people who can't pre-order these next gen consoles watch this trailer.
You're right. It's about the pre-orders, huh?
Yo,
It
mom is
is
about to
about
go to
the
the store and
pre-orders,
scoop up
dude.
an
What?
Atari.
This
Oh
this
my
is a
gosh.
4K 60 FPS. That's what you want, right? Here you go. So they're banking on that, and I think it might get some desperate people. Maybe if stimulus checks come, maybe people are willing to gamble $400 on this.
Bro.
So
wait. Say that again.
$400.
$400.
No. $390.
Oh, sorry, $399. Oh,
That's
and
$389.
and guys, so you thought 500 gig? You guys thought 500 gigabyte SSD was bad, right?
Yeah, it's a little.
How
a
low
little
can
rough.
you go? This is a 32 gigabyte,
32 gigs.
32 gigabyte
Wow.
storage.
Wait, how much RAM though?
8
8
gigs.
8 gigs of RAM. Damn. Oh well,
That's
it's kind of
competitive.
beating the S
Oh.
out, right? It's beating the Series S,
The
right?
S has 10.
The Series
S
S
S
has
10
10.
gigs. Yeah.
Ah, damn! It didn't even come close.
Oh,
to
but
that.
you can expand your 8 gigabytes. It's
Oh,
expandable.
yeah, it
Oh
was
yeah, it's
expandable.
expandable.
Wow.
I hope they don't got no
Hey,
proprietary
but
stuff.
in all
no
seriousness,
proprietary RAM.
I actually do like this Atari VCS for one reason.
Please tell us.
Because it has a Linux distribution on it, so it is
I did see that.
it
has
is
Linux
a
on
computer, and you can also plug in an external device and install Windows 10. So for $399,
It
So a
can
mini
barely
PC?
run Windows 10 probably.
it
and
could
was
run
good.
it fantastic.
Mm.
It has
Nice.
good. It has a good
Fantastic.
AMD.
It's a 2-core AMD.
It has those APUs are really good. So it has a good processor. It has 8 gigs of DDR4, and then has expandable storage. So that's not terrible. You know what I mean? I like that you could.
Could you fit the Windows 10 on 32 gigabytes?
No, you have to put expandable
You
storage.
gotta put the
Yeah,
expandable
okay.
storage.
So it has its an Atari Linux distribution. That's what it's
Right.
running on. But with the expandable storage, you'll have to plug in and install it on like a hard drive,
Mhm.
an external SSD or external hard drive. So I do like that because it could be a cool multimedia PC. It could be a cool PC that you put all your emulators on. I like how it's so slim. So I do see a potential use for this. Now
Mhm.
$399 is way too much.
Dude,
Mhm.
they're smoking crack,
Way
man. I'm gonna
too
just
much.
say it. They're smoking
$199 would have been
$389.
a great price for this. I would have bought one just to have it, just to put it in my bedroom to have an extra PC in
Mhm.
there with a wireless mouse and keyboard. This would have been a cool little multimedia PC, and it still is. But for $399, dude, no freaking way. I could build a sick multimedia PC for $399. So they're absurd with this price. You get a cool little joystick. You get a cool cheap knockoff
Controller.
Xbox controller. I don't want none of that. I'll just plug in a Microsoft controller
It
or
Plug
kind
in
of
my
looked more like
DualSense.
one
or
of those
DualSense,
Switch
Yeah.
or
controllers.
DualSense
I know,
or whatever,
Yeah,
What was
it
that?
kind of looked like one of those Switch controllers. to
Yeah,
me a
it
little
looked like
bit.
a Pro.
Yeah,
the
Switch Pro, yeah.
Yeah.
Switch Pro, yeah.
So, but I'd rather just use. Yeah, the controller looked bad, but it's overpriced. But I do like that it is actually real hardware. You could plug in, install
Does
whatever.
it have an HDMI port?
Yeah.
It got to, right?
Yeah,
To get that 4K output.
It's got an Ethernet port, everybody.
Oh, Ethernet. Wow.
Wow.
Ooh, no Wi-Fi though.
Dang.
I think it has Wi-Fi.
It's probably got
That has Wi-Fi. But yeah, so that's what I thought. In all seriousness, it's overpriced, but it is cool.
Yeah, I
Alright.
think the big problem is as you're watching this trailer, like you're like, okay, like they did some, design work here. It looks kind of sleek. They're making crappy looking Atari look decent. Like it's kind of interesting what they've done here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm on board. Okay, you get all the Atari games. Oh, and you can get access to a store to buy indies and whatever games
They
that
did
this
say
thing can run.
some modern games or something like that
some
was on
modern
there.
games.
I don't know
think
what
there's
that.
a store on there that you can buy.
Yeah.
By modern, I think they mean modern indie games. I bet
Probably
you
like Stardew
yeah,
Valley.
like
and
Stardew Valley,
stuff like that.
Mm.
things along those lines, right? Exactly. That's what I envisioned this thing could play. So this could be like an indie machine. So I'm like, okay, this might be a fun little indie device. If you can get Steam on there or something like that.
Well,
Well, your PC.
For Steam runs on Linux, so
Yeah.
in theory you
In
can
theory,
just
you
write,
could
install
run Steam,
you
so
can
That's my
whatever.
thought. I was like, okay, a little Steam machine, it's interesting. Okay, you could play all your old Atari games in 4K, big whoop. you know. And then, you know, I start looking up the specs. This thing has a 0.46 teraflop APU,
0.46.
0.46,
Oh,
which isn't
jeez.
even a quarter of what the PS4 original can do,
It's got to be better than PS5.
which just
though.
came out in 2013, huh?
It's got to be better than PS5. though.
and then you're kind of like, okay, this is fine. This is whatever. This is fun until you see that price.
Mm.
And then when you see that price, you're like, what?
They lost me at that.
$390? What?
Tripping.
I can spend 10 more bucks and get a PS5.
You
I can get
the
a
all digital joint.
PS5. A literal PS5. I'm like, I can't even believe it, dude. A PS5. 825 gigabyte solid state proprietary drive, 4-core
A real controller.
Ryzen, you know, a real GPU, 10.2 teraflops
In the Series
for
S.
$10 more. Or I can spend $90 less and get a Series S, which can play next gen games at 1440p potentially. I mean, it's just a laugh. It's a laughing stock. When you see that price, it's a joke. It makes it seem like an absolute and utter joke. Yeah, like maybe at $199. Like that's what I was expecting. The price tag, $149, $199, and I'm like, okay, maybe someone might enjoy buying that. I can see some value there. But when I saw $400, what are they smoking?
No.
You know, this thing was Kickstarted. They made like over $3 million on Kickstarter for this thing.
Yeah, but didn't it have like several different names before they
The
ended
Atari
with
box.
this VCS?
Yeah, I know the Atari box was like the first name for it.
Yeah,
I like that name.
and they probably
it's fine.
they probably sold that with like higher specs than what they've ended with.
Maybe.
They had to have.
I mean,
you telling
you
me
gotta be
millions of
kidding.
people want this piece of shit?
32
Not for
gigabyte. I
$400
can't
bucks.
even believe that. Where is this money going? Mark, tell me. There's nothing
It's going
on
in their
here.
pocket.
This is like 20-year-old tech.
Nah,
Maybe not. I know not that
It's
old,
a
but
cell
it's
phone,
very,
bro.
very old.
They put a cell
it's
phone in
not
the
even
box.
a cell phone's better. A cell phone can pump out better graphics.
They gave us a
All of our phones here
2009
probably are
Android
faster.
phone and put it in a
A
box.
2009 Android phone.
Dude, it's trash, man.
It's crazy.
This is ass to me. This is just straight
But
ass.
it wouldn't be ass if it was like 149
no.
or 199, right? It wouldn't.
No.
You would admit that if it was. The problem is the price, right?
Problem is the price.
That's the
Yeah,
problem.
the
That's
price
the
is
problem.
biggest
Problem
issue.
is-
This doesn't. It just if it's priced affordably, then you're like, it's no longer right. You're getting something decent for your money.
The
But
problem
that's
is
the problem,
mentioning the PS5 and the VCS in the same sentence.
and that's
the
a problem too.
It's-
Dude.
Why would
Yeah.
you even try that?
They should go after
I
the
would be
Switch. Like,
mentioning-
hey, Switch can't
Nah,
play
bro.
4K, but
I'm
we can.
mentioning I'm mentioning a Game Boy. Remember the Game Boy Color
You need the Game Boy.
was never able to
I
produce
bet you
4K,
need the Game Boy.
but the Atari VCS can. Like I'm going back in time. Like I'm
Yeah.
not mentioning nothing
Oh, that's
out
so
of this
funny.
century. Like I'm
Remember the
mentioning
Game
everything
Boy.
back then, dude. Like, oh,
The
remember when the
NES
first
killer.
Atari came out? We couldn't give you
NES.
4K, but we can now. You know what I mean? Like,
The Super NES killer.
dude, man,
The Super NES killer. Yeah.
10 times better than the Nintendo
Oh my
GameCube.
gosh,
You know what I
man,
mean?
that's
I'm
funny.
naming everything that is like way old
Yeah.
and just trash.
50 times better
50
times
times
in
better
than the Nintendo Entertainment System.
World's better than
than
the Sega Dreamcast.
Genesis.
Yeah,
It
like,
ain't better than the Dreamcast.
it's not.
No, I don't
No?
think it is.
Dude, it's way better.
It
Than
might.
I
It's
don't
got to
think
produce
so.
some better.
Hey,
I
the
don't think
processor's
so.
pretty good. Modern laptops, all the budget laptops that you go out and buy have this processor.
I don't even know if it could run.
Wait,
Dreamcast
does it have a
games.
disk drive though?
No,
No disk
No,
drive,
there's
right?
no.
It's pure
Digital.
digital.
dude, it's way better than the Dreamcast. Like the processor's a modern processor.
I doubt it could run Dreamcast games.
It
I
could
would be
probably run
surprised
your
if it could run
MDK
Dreamcast games.
MDK.
Dude, the
what is
360
it?
ran Dreamcast games, so
The 360, yeah.
this is way better than 360.
What was that
Leaps
one
and
game that
bounds.
we
No,
used
I
to
don't
play
think so.
on
Then
the
the
Dreamcast?
360
The
that had
360 had 500 gigabyte hard drive on it.
that had 512 megabytes of RAM. The 360.
Yeah, but the GPU and the GPU is much better on those systems.
Then the 360.
yeah.
That came out in 2004. Dude,
How many teraflops are on 360?
dude, you're tripping.
Let's see.
You're straight tripping. Teraflops isn't an exact calculation.
Why are we even
Go
looking
ahead,
at
go
that? We
ahead.
didn't
I'm
even
gonna
know
look.
nothing about teraflops back in the day, dude.
Dude, you're
you can't look at
comparing a
teraflops.
processor that was designed in 2004 to something that was designed in current day.
2020. During COVID though, so
Dude,
maybe
but
they had to take
teraflops
some
isn't
L's.
an exact calculation. But go ahead, compare the teraflops.
All right.
So what is it?
0.1?
0.24. 0.24.
And what's this?
teraflops.
Ooh.
0.46.
Ooh,
Double.
smoking it.
That's what they should compare.
Smoking the
Double the power of the
360.
360. Yeah, that's
See,
that,
that's where they failed at, man. They
Oh
should
my
have
God.
dropped it
Double
on
the
the
power.
same release day as the 360 when it had came out and just shit all over the 360. Like we triple
And then they
triple the
win.
power.
And
of
then
the
they win.
360. Yeah.
they're like 5 times the RAM as the
Plus it on that.
360. It might work. But anyways.
But yeah, so is this
The
what?
problem's the price.
Yeah,
okay?
so
I
is
know
this
we're
like
shitting on it,
this a
but
day one for you
No,
or an eventually?
no.
It's not
This
even
is
an
never.
eventually. Okay, so never. What about you, man? Just day one or
So
eventually?
at
Never?
first I thought it would be cool to have, but this is a waste of even talking about. This is a waste of money.
Mhm.
of even
Like
talking
there's
about
yeah, because I could go
Sorry,
buy
guys.
I could go buy for $400. I could buy a 360, a PS3, and maybe a used PS4. Yeah, because you sold me one for a very reasonable price,
Yeah.
so I could be gaming for a while. Yeah, this
You
is just a waste.
definitely buying a PS4 after the
I can't
PS5
say
launches for
enough.
cheaper than
You
this.
can get a Series S for
Or I could get a Series S
$100
plus a year
less.
subscription of Game Pass. Oh, dude,
Ooh.
For $100
dude, this is a
less.
waste. This
See, I tell you what they should have done, right, was they should have came out with their own Atari All Access bundle and then sold you like,
It's like a
a
gaming
payment
service?
plan. Yeah, like
Oh,
no,
a
just like a payment
service?
plan.
Not a system, but
Like,
a service.
$10 a month type shit.
For the
Or
rest
Their
of
something
games
like
are
that.
garbage though.
So-
They're all from the 70s, man.
But at least it would have looked more appealing instead
just
of throwing
spend
a
10
$400
minutes.
price
We'll
tag.
spend
on
10
it.
minutes. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
I
try
could
this
see.
one. 5 more minutes on the next one.
Then you switch it up with the handheld controller instead of the joystick, give it a little flavor. You know what I mean? Like you spice up your gameplay a little bit.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, this is definitely not
No,
a day one. This is
my
a
first thought
never. I'm not
exactly
even looking
what
at
you
this. Maybe
said.
on clearance for $10, I get this.
I love you, me.